Magic 999, never going to give you up. And that was Rick Astley, and joining us now in the studio on breakfast for a Thursday morning is here. This is the man himself, Rick Astley. Nice to meet you, Rick.
It's very nice to meet you. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Not too early for you then this morning?
No, I'm a bit of an early riser. I've got a 13-year-old daughter, so...
oh, right, so you're used to it?
Yeah, and I don't do the school run every morning, but I do it some mornings, so I'm kind of up, our house is kind of up and about at 7 o'clock, so...
All right. I've got to tell you this before we go any further. 1987, I was working in Manchester for a Top Shop and Top Man. Working for Radio Top Shop. I was, it was a great time. So I was working there, and you had number one hit. You had a number one hit. I think you had something in the pipeline. It was already signed and sealed. You had to turn up for CIS, the co-op there, and you was on top of a bus.
Right.
And there was this bear, and this bear kept waving at me.
You're frightening me now. You know that.
I'm frightened.
You've seen the Alan Partridge episode where he's got the closet fan. I mean, this is beginning to be frightening.
Oh,
you know
well, yeah. Well, I've got this is just like, for me, it was frightening as well, because this bear kept waving at me. I thought, I'm going to see what Rick Astley's like. So I'm going there, and I thought, well, this bear's like giving it all, waving to me. So I go across the road. The bear follows me, and waving again. I thought, I've only come to see Rick Astley. Is he part of the entourage or whatever? So anyway, a couple of weeks later, my next door neighbour says, did you see me the other day? I was with Rick Astley. I said, where was you? He says, I was the bear. I was waving to me. How could I tell who he was? He had a costume on.
Is that something he does normally, dress up as a bear?
Oh yeah, he dresses up as the fella out of, what's it? Shank Fantastic. What's it called?
Oh, Austin Powers.
Austin Powers,
right,
yeah, he does all the Austin Powers
yeah.
now. Round the clubs, Mr. Smith's in Mornington.
I did an Austin Powers thing once. I went to a party and the guy, I think it was like a 40th birthday or something, and he'd hired all this gear and everything. We all had to turn up, a la the film and everything, so I did an Austin Powers. I've got the glasses as well, you see.
Oh yeah. And can you do the voice?
No, I think, well, it was actually in America, and I think everyone thinks that, anybody who speaks with any kind of an English accent, even like a northern one like mine, they all think it's so cute,
love you, don't they?
Yeah, so...
And talking of America, you've been there to record a new album.
Yeah, I like America. I've spent a lot of time there. I was lucky enough to do all right with records over there, back in the day. And I really like it over there. I'm not so sure I'd want to live there permanent, but I mean, to be over there for a bit of time is great, I think. And it's, for me, I think some of my heroes are from America musically, and it's nice to go over there and, work with musicians and stuff, and just sort of hang out.
And who are your heroes then? Who are they?
A lot of the R&B singers, I think. Al Green, I saw Al Green a few years back, actually in LA, in like a little amphitheatre, outdoor theatre. It's just absolutely amazing. It puts people like me in my place, because you just listen to that guy and watch his stage presence and everything. It's just incredible, So.
Are you a big Luther Vandross fan as well?
Yeah, I am, and I was. Obviously, he died this year, yeah. And I think also it's so ironic that somebody like him, who hadn't, I don't know what age he was, but I think he could have been one of those guys who later on in life would have still been making great records, and it would have been interesting to see what he did later on, because he had such an amazing voice. But yeah, it's kind of very sad. Yeah.
Well, when I heard Never Gonna Give You Up, I thought at the time he was like similar, reminded me of Luther Vandross, the same sort of soulful.
Thank you. I'll take that as an absolutely massive compliment.
It is a compliment, it's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, but all my favourite, as I say, a lot of my favourite singers, a lot of black R&B guys and what have you. I mean, not only R&B music, but I mean, yeah, it's one of my definite influences.
Right. So the album is, how long did it take to record? You went to Los Angeles to record it?
Yeah, it didn't take very long, partly because I didn't want it to, and partly just because of the way we went about it. Obviously, back in the day with Stockacre Waterman, everything was kind of mechanised, let's say. I've done bits of more organic recording with human beings and people who play, but I really fancy doing a record where we get in a room, we rehearse the songs, and because it's a covers record, that's really cosy, and it's really sort of so comfortable, because you know that the songs are hits anyway. You know that they are big songs, do you know what I mean? They're great songs, they've stood the test of time. So we just rehearsed in a room for a week, and then we went into the studio and just cut them kind of live, really, where they play, I sing, we all go in the studio afterwards, we listen to 4 or 5 takes, and we choose the one that we like, and yeah, it's great.
Because it's covers, is it difficult to put your own stamp on it, in a way?
Well, it is, but I think you've got to be very careful about getting too wrapped up in what you're doing when you're recording cover songs, because you're always going to ruin someone's favourite song. You have to admit that to yourself before you start, and you just have to try and enjoy it for what it is. I've not made a record for a long time, and I think the whole thing of taking on a record with me either writing or co-writing the songs, I think might have made it more difficult and put more pressure on. I was doing this, I went over to America and had a little holiday first with my family, and then they went home and we carried on recording and what have you. And yeah, it was great. It was kind of like being on holiday, really, just I've been really lucky, I think, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I've kind of been lucky again this time.
Did you go to the sights of Los Angeles? Is your wife a big fan of Pretty Woman?
Well, I wouldn't say so exactly, no. I mean, I think Pretty Woman's a bit of a stretching people's imagination because, I mean, where that's actually set is a dump.
It is.
Yeah. But, I like Los Angeles. I like America, like I said before. I've spent a lot of time in America and a lot of time in particular in Los Angeles because a lot of the TVs were there and a lot of the big radio stations and stuff, and obviously New York as well. But I've got friends who live there in and around LA, so it's really nice to be there. And the weather as well.
It's amazing,
I mean,
isn't it?
I do love it because of what it is and the people and the sense of humour and the way we are, but I mean, the weather's sometimes just so depressing, do you know what I mean? And over there, it's kind of like, oh, another beautiful day, you know. So.
Maybe you should be going over there now to record another album, maybe this time of the year, when winter sets in.
Yeah, it's
Go
not a
over
bad
there.
idea. It's not a bad idea, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very seductive, I think, as well, Los Angeles, because, you know, it is fairly glamorous, I'd say. I mean, obviously, there's parts of it, like I say, that are a dump, I think, but I mean, it's just that whole kind of thing that nothing's too much trouble. As long as you've got the money,
Yeah, that's what you need,
you know, yeah, or you're famous, or a combination of two is even better. and you know, everything's possible, and it's yeah, nothing's too much trouble. You know.
Right, we're going to play a track from the album, your new album, which is called Portrait. You can pick the song. Which one would you like?
Okay, well, one of my favourites is Close to You. I love singing it live and what have you, and I think it's a great song. So Close to You.
Okay, some magic. Brilliant. Okay. Magic 999 playing Close to You. It's Rick Astley who's joining us in the studio, and Gemma's got Traffic and Travel in just a moment. 8 o'clock, just after the news at 8 o'clock, we normally do a speech called You Choose the Music.
Okie dokie.
It's alright if you choose the music today?
Yeah, sure.
3 of your favourite songs.
Okay, we'll go with something by Al Green. Tired of Being Alone, I think. One of his absolute classics for me. Like I say, I saw him sing live a few years ago. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So you want 2 more now, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have a Bill Withers then. We'll have Lovely Day by Bill Withers.
That's fine.
And you mentioned Luther Vandross before, so we'll have Never Too Much by Luther Vandross. The great Luther. We've sadly missed.
I can't move. It's not fair. I'm jumping for joy.
Okay, so we've got into the Traffic and Travel.